is Rachel from 7 and All, and this is our once a month day in the life video to show you a little bit of our homeschool routine and so on. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. Our day today started at 6:30 in the morning with painting. You got to do it right away, right? Because yesterday evening my son and I, we glued together this little wooden spaceship that his grandparents had gotten him for a birthday craft present, and we finally got glue so we could do it, because I am the kind of person who just might not own any Elmer's glue. That's my version of minimalism. But we got glue, we glued it together last night, and I told him it had to dry before he could paint it. So 6:30 in the morning he was up, and the first thing he told me is, "It's dry, Mama, it's dry, I can paint it." So the spaceship has been painted. We got that out of the way with early in the day. We've had breakfast, we've read our books, and I think I'm gonna go clean a bathroom or two before I just do a little bit of schoolwork with my son.
I don't have
Más. Look at that, that's cool.
What's the movie?
This one is I Can Sit Still.
Sit still.
And what's the last one?
Listen.
Yes, listen. You can sit still and listen. You can sit quietly, listen to a story. What's this one?
Zebra.
Zebra.
Zipper.
Zipper, very good. Este?
Friday.
Aire, very good. Aire. E?
Rio.
Rio, you got it. And this is, what sound?
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
Zero.
Zaza. This says Zaza for zero. Alright. Zaza for zoo. ¿Qué es este?
Serpiente.
Serpiente. ¿Es peligroso o no es peligroso?
Sí.
Sí, es peligroso. ¿Este animal?
Castor.
Castor. ¿Castor es peligroso o no? Is it right or wrong to obey?
Right.
It is a right choice.
Beavers. Manatees. Aquarius. Lemur.
Oh wow, buddy. Beavers.
Take one.
Oh, okay. This is subtraction. If we have 4, we take 1 away, and then there's only 3 left. We had 4 minus 1. Take 1 away. There's only 3 left. That's called subtraction. Then we have our Bible verse. 18. Yes, you keep 18. So you're gonna write 1 over here in the fence.
How we run with this?
Yep. 8. Circle. But this is the ones place, so we're only gonna do an 8 right here. We need 2 more 8. We have 1 10. Cars. Yes. A green one and a pink one. What if you put porridge in a car's tank? Get down from those trees. Did you see any monkeys today?
Yes. Some bad monkeys
Bad
and good monkeys.
and good. Cuadrado. Pacífica. Cuadrado, cuadrado. Más cuadrados. Only one color.
This is 2. I got number 6.
Okay. Okay, una para ti. See, you could do it. Okay, now which comes next? Let's try it again. Yellow, blue, blue. yellow. You already know that there's 2 blues,
Yes.
dos azules. Wow. So do any of you live in places where it's normal to use an umbrella when you walk in the sun for a sunshade? It's fairly normal here. But when I'm also carrying a little one, I always find it kind of hard to balance the umbrella and the baby. I haven't been using the carrier for our walks anymore because he's getting pretty good at walking. He had a little scary for him running with a stray dog yesterday. So he keeps saying, scary rough, and he wants to be carried today.
苏南和他们的仆人向北前往皇帝的
And what are you doing?
I'm reviewing all the stuff that we've gone through.
Hello, it is now nap time / quiet time, which is why this is just about the first time all day that I've been able to have a chance to actually sit down and talk through what we're doing today. So what you've seen this morning is we did do some schoolwork. We had a little bit of a kind of a lighter school day, just using random workbooks that I have and just reading some stories because we've pretty much finished the curriculum that I was using. We're kind of in a transition period and I need to this afternoon hopefully print and prep a little bit so that today's a Friday and on Monday we want to start strong with our the next level of the curriculum and the new Aventuras del Abecedario that is coming together, and I get to use it first before anyone else because I haven't released it yet. So I'll be doing a little bit of prep this afternoon because we are starting some new curriculum because we kind of finished up what we were using. And I'm also going to make fried chicken with mashed potatoes and cabbage, so we're going to have a really good dinner. I am super excited about that. Does anyone else just like really love your own cooking? Like I can be a little bit of a picky eater. It's one of my character flaws, I guess. But I really enjoy my own cooking and I'm excited for like Fridays. We either tend to go out to like a little local market, or I tend to do like, hey, I'll make a meal that I won't normally make on just a weekday because it takes longer to prep. So today I'm making one of my favorite meals to actually eat. And yeah, so what you saw earlier in the day was we had our little morning routine, and then we went out walking and we were going to visit my parents, and I did Chinese class with my sister and we had lunch with them. We do that a couple times a week, not every day, but it's part of our kind of usual routine, and we always see very interesting things while we walk. Today we actually saw a bunch of guys and a crane and a bunch of chainsaws, and they were cutting down a really big tree and taking it apart in pieces using the crane. So that was super exciting for the boys to get to see. They just love that. So I like that we get to walk to my parents' house because I wouldn't necessarily go on walks through the sunny, hot city roads all that much. But we actually always see really interesting things when we're out on our walks. And the boys don't necessarily like the sun, but they like the adventure. So here's where I'm at with dinner prep. I have the potatoes boiled for mashed potatoes. I've got my cabbage sauteing. I'm making this, let me see if I can grab it. Thank you. I'm making this this is my main seasoning, salt and Sichuan peppercorns grinder. I fell in love with hot and sour cabbage, a dish called hot and sour cabbage when I lived in China, and that dish uses Sichuan peppercorns whole in it. It also uses black vinegar, so this is not that exactly, because I don't have black vinegar and I'm not just putting in a couple tablespoons of Sichuan peppercorns whole. But using this does give it some of that familiar, amazingly delicious flavor. And then I've got my mix that I'm gonna mix up to make my popcorn style fried chicken. So I did manage to get this all printed out, the parent guide and the student book, And this is just, I've had some people ask, how are you planning to store the student pages since there's for single-sided printing and there's a lot of cutting out. This is how I'm gonna do it. I just have one of these folders that are pretty thick and can take a lot of pages, which needs to take a lot of pages, and then they attach. Some of them have snaps. This one has the string, which I'm clearly struggling to do right now, but you can just wind it up with a string to close it. I am not the biggest fan of necessarily binding printables for little kids use. I like to use folders and leave them unbound because with little kids, it's not gonna be a kid getting into this folder and messing it up or getting pages out of order. Only I am gonna get into the folder. I just pull out our page or two for the day and it's really easy, and then I'm not dealing with, you know, a little kid trying to write in a book. I am a lefty, my son is a lefty, so I also do see the benefit of not necessarily writing over binding and on curved pages and so on during the early years. You gotta learn how to do it, you have to. That's just the world we live in. But, you know, right now in this preschool stage, I'm totally fine with just printing out papers and leaving them in a folder. For the parent guide, I am gonna just staple this. This is really thin. So I'm just gonna staple it to keep it together for my reference. And there we go. What are we gonna watch when we finish? Woody, Toy Story? Yeah, that's gonna be super fun. Oh man. You are scary. Hate it. We've got the playroom all cleaned up. He did a really great job. I was really impressed with how careful he was about putting the right kind of toys in the right box. I think he was highly motivated by the idea of watching a special movie tonight, Toy Story. So I'm gonna say goodbye here. We're gonna enjoy Toy Story tonight as a family.